Okay, we're good on both sides with the trunks. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you again to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up, buena suerte.
So Zepeda, as you see, carrying the Mexican colors. It's a Mexican holiday, and he will be the one with the bulk of the support, but Pedraza from Puerto Rico, you heard some enthusiastic recognition of his arrival, and so the first round underway of this 10-round battle, and it could be a close one, Barry, on paper.
Well, you expect it to be, because they can both bang a little bit. No, I think Zepeda is the one who carries the most power, certainly at this weight. But Pedraza has good boxing skills, got a lovely jab as we're seeing here, and it's hard to establish a jab sometimes against the southpaw, but if you can do that, then you tend to think you might have the advantage for the most of those rounds.
Sniper, Jose Pedraza, Jose Zepeda, fighting out of the southpaw stance. Born in Long Beach, California, of Mexican parents. And the pair of them only born 16 days apart. Pedraza, the older man. As you heard from Jimmy Lennon Jr., currently ranked number 4 by the WBO, for whom the champion is Jose Ramirez. Both of them heavy punchers, as Barry's told you, and just having a look, you sense, in the early stages.
This sort of early in the fight, no one wants to make a silly mistake, just having a look at each other, seeing any little tells in their work. Nice jab there from Zepeda.
Zepeda, 30 years old, been a pro for 10 years now.
Oh, good right hand from Pedraza, then paid back with a lovely short left hand there from Zepeda.
And that southpaw jab of Zepeda's. Pedraza can fight out of the southpaw stance, but he's electing to fight orthodox in this opening 3 minutes. Another left hand from Zepeda.
Well, Pedraza just squared his feet there and sat down a little bit. Something that maybe works for him in the past, but Zepeda there just bring that left hand forward and catch him in a ways.
So last few seconds of a fairly quiet opening round, but has Zepeda just done enough?
Ever so slightly, I just think, Judge. I think there's a bit more purchase in some of his shots.
Well, there goes the bell to end the opening round. David Hayes joined us as well at ringside. We'll get some replays as well, I'm sure, as the fight unfolds. And there's the big arena. What's your early impressions, David?
Zepeda looked like he controlled that first round. He landed the eye-catching straight lefts down the pipe. Pedraza, he can't quite get to grips with the southpaw style just yet. Lomachenko seemed to completely boss him in that southpaw style, and it looks like Zepeda's done his homework and watched exactly how Lomachenko was able to nullify Pedraza's work, and he's kind of really he controlled it. He took a couple of small scuffing blows in that round, but for me, Zepeda completely controlled it.
Well, we'll see how it unfolds, Barry. You've given the opening one there to Jose Zepeda. It is a 10-rounder, this long way to go.
It is a long way to go, and I think, as fighters start to relax, or certainly when fatigue starts to play a part, if it's going to go the long haul, mistakes will be made. It's all about getting that. When you've got a southpaw and an orthodox fighter, we say it all the time. It's very important about getting that front foot on the outside, so you can throw your lead hand over the lead hand of your opponent. And also more importantly, your left hand or your right hand, depending on what stance you're at. The backhand, it's lined up right down the, as David said, right down the pipe, and it's a direct shot to the chin. But you have to put your front foot in the right place to produce that work.
Bit of technical analysis.
I made it up.
Stop. Watch your head.
Sometimes when you get the orthodox and the southpaw, it doesn't gel. It'll be interesting to see if this is one of those which does.
Again, Pedraza, he's trying to forge his way forward here, Pedraza, but he is just struggling, as David said in between the rounds. He is just struggling with that southpaw stance, and just not being able to establish the jab that he so regularly has success with means he can't really follow it with anything else. And he's trying to get a little bit too close to the target and then getting caught. And it's not, no one's bossing the rounds, but for me, I think Zepeda here is just doing enough.
Zepeda in the white shorts. Pedraza being told by his corner, Jose Pedraza, I think it was, shouting out, get him on your jab, son. Not able to do so far.
Good from Zepeda. Just a few seconds ago, he threw a little combination and then just a little pivot on the front foot, just to make Pedraza have to turn that body to throw the shots. And the time was gone for him. Not be able to counter back.
Now he gets in with the right hand now.
Again, no one willing to overcommit just yet. No one really planting their feet with their punches, but you still feel that Zepeda is doing the better work. Oh, good right hand from Zepeda.
Well, it's not really kicked off yet, has it? It's a quiet opening to the fight. First round to Zepeda. Second round, Pedraza still having problems.
He is. He can't. He just can't decrypt the southpaw style. You know, he's, as Barry said, his foot's in the wrong place, and he's just getting turned around. He's getting pivoted, and here's the man, Tyson Fury, looking relaxed, looking exactly as you'd want him to look before a big fight like this. Super confident.
Ben Davison said a happy Tyson Fury is a Tyson Fury at his best. I think we can say he's happy.
For sure. You know, whenever you've seen him in this sort of mood, he always performs.
Some of the Fury fans, latecomers, they'll be coming into the arena in the next hour or so, I'm sure. How did you score that second one, Barry?
Zepeda for me, John. I think you know he was busier than in the second round than he was in the first round, and again there is more weight, there is a little more purchase in his shots, just a slightly bit more quality. And I just think Pedraza, I think it's just feet. I think he has the reach. He's just getting his feet a little bit too close to the target for me.
10-rounder, but he's got problems he's got to sort out, and Pedraza momentarily going southpaw. Back orthodox and continuing to eat that right-hand lead.
Well, what he's doing, just seeing there from Pedraza, when he throws that right hand, he's bringing the right foot forward, squaring himself up, so he has nowhere to go. There's no exit for him. He can't move his feet, so he has to sit down and hope he can block the shot. So you've got to turn from the waist when you throw that backhand with that right hand. Push off that back leg. You get a bit of purchase in the shot, and also your balance is still there to either attack or of course, retreat.
That's good. Lovely fast hands and accuracy as well from Zepeda. Good shot again. Got problems here, Pedraza.
just keeping his shape a little bit better, isn't he, Zepeda? Just a bit more discipline in his work, a little bit more concentration maybe.
Really landed anything so far, Pedraza, of any real authority.
And he's trying to put pressure on Zepeda, but I don't think it's enough to make him panic yet. Because you know, it's okay trying to put pressure with the feet, but you have to make a guy worry or hit him with something. And he's not really able to have any success yet. They're all glancing blows at best. Good shot, well timed.
Good disciplined opening to this fight from Jose Zepeda.
Yeah, well, we said, you know, that Pedraza has all the pedigree because he's been a two-time world champion and probably boxed with better people on the whole, but not at this weight. He's unproven at this weight, where Zepeda had that really close. It was a defeat against Jose Ramirez, who's a fantastic champion. So you know, he's proved himself at this level already. That
fight only last December. It was very close indeed. Majority decision that Ramirez won, who, as you say, is a tough fighter.
Down with a few little right hands there, Pedraza, but for me, still not enough.
Well, problems aplenty for Pedraza. We saw Tyson Fury in the dressing room earlier, and as we just watched some of the replays of that round. How nervous is he going to be? I know he's looked cocksure, but are there going to still be some butterflies?
I don't think so. I think he came here, you know, a few months back and completely dominated. He didn't look nervous then. He had a successful outing here in Las Vegas, so he popped his Vegas cherry, and here he is again doing the same thing again. He's got another opponent who's a heavy favourite to beat, so I'm looking forward to seeing how much of a show he puts on, particularly his ring walk. The last ring walk was fantastic. I love the way he came in with James Brown, Living in America. It was a real performance. I'm looking to see what he does today, see if he can top it.
Came in looking like Apollo Creed. I suspect that'll not be the appearance this time. I think we might get the old Mexican theme. Bit of marking around the face of Pedraza, Barry. Accuracy of Zepeda is starting to show.
Yeah, just a bit more quality in his work. I think he's keeping his composure, and he's happy just to time the attacks here of Pedraza. But again, it's still early days.
Two real battlers, two quality performers. Pedraza, you can be absolutely sure, will not be prepared to go 10 rounds without at least dragging Zepeda into something of a war. He's switch hitting now.
Great job there, the from Zepeda. Beautiful shot. Really stepped behind it. Just a little bit sharper, isn't he, at the minute?
Yeah.
Right hook there though from Pedraza from the southpaw stance.
He's trying to get some variety. Finding out of the orthodox has not worked, and he's getting the call from his corner. Make him miss, make him miss. Swelling on the left cheekbone of Jose Pedraza, where the jab of Zepeda has taken its toll, and nice work again from the Californian.
Has to take a couple of hooks back though, but the better quality left hand from Zepeda. That was Pedraza's chance there to throw that uppercut, that left uppercut in that southpaw stance.
He made him miss, didn't he? He slipped it.
He did all the right moves, just didn't pull the trigger.
4th round here. And you sense that Pedraza, in those green shorts, is going to have to start winning some rounds here. Fight without him getting hurt is just kind of slipping away.
He's really trying not to walk into shots like he was in the first couple of rounds, but again, now he's not being busy enough. So if you're not getting no success doing it one way, you're not getting no success doing it the other either.
Next Zepeda missed 2 or 3 times there and then covers up on that left hand, but then a good jab again from Zepeda. Well, he's got problems, David. How does he sort them out, Pedraza?
Without doing what he's doing now, Zepeda looks like he's got a game plan. He's coming to the ring, he's slowly but surely putting his shots together, working the body, throwing that southpaw stance, that southpaw lead left hand down the pipe, and he's landing beautifully. He can fight orthodox and southpaw, but he's fought exclusively southpaw here, and he's doing it for a reason. He's breaking, Pedraza's heart. It really doesn't look like he's in control at all. His corner looking desperate. He's fighting like a desperate man who needs to win rounds, and whenever you get desperate, you start looking for the punches and they don't come. He didn't look like he had a game plan coming in today. He just assumed everything was just going to be okay, and it's not.
Well, he seems to be being, at this point, comprehensively outboxed. Does he have to turn it into a brawl somehow?
He's going to have to do something different. What he's been doing so far hasn't worked in any way, shape or form, so he's going to need to... I like the fact he tried turning southpaw there, but it didn't work for him. He needs to maybe rough him up or get his head involved and try and unsettle Zepeda.
Getting outboxed, Barry.
But also, there's no turn, there's no swivel on the hips when he throws the right hand. He's got to bring that right foot forward every time, and I think because he was such a big, super tall, super featherweight and lightweight, he probably got away with loads of things, loads of mistakes, because he had that reach and that height advantage. Now he still has that now, but it's not as significant as it was in those lower weights, and sometimes those advantages you have, sometimes they mask maybe some technical and maybe tactical deficiencies.
World champion, as we've said, at those lower weights. Pedraza, super featherweight, IBF world champion, lightweight, WBO world champion, here now at super lightweight. The old light welterweight.
Break! Step back, Queen. Step back.
So what you see here is Pedraza, he's throwing shots without much thought. I think he's trying to hit the target, of course, but there's no real thought behind it, so that's why his footwork's not fantastic. But Zepeda here is a little bit more focused, and he's looking for the exact shot. He's sort of made his mind what he's going to throw. You see there, he's just making him miss there, and he's going right through the guard. A little screw shot with the left hand. I think just a little more composure. He squared his feet there and got caught. And sometimes discipline, all the physical attributes and everything else, sometimes discipline can be the difference at a higher level.
Solid body shot, nice left hand from Zepeda.
See, Pedraza's trying to walk him down a little bit, but I still don't think he's making Zepeda work hard enough.
Again, telling Pedraza, you can probably hear the shouts from his corner. Zepeda working well behind that jab.
Have to take a right hand there, though, Zepeda. But for me, I think it's time now Zepeda tries to start pushing Pedraza back now with that right jab.
Maybe just naturally the bigger, stronger man, Zepeda, I wonder. Well, you've given him, I think, the first 4 rounds. How did you have the 5th?
Yeah, same again. Another round there for Zepeda for me.
The pattern's just not being broken, David.
Yeah, 5-0 from me as well. Pedraza needs to do something. He had a little bit more success in that round, just marginally. Landed a few clean shots. He needs to apply the pressure at long range. Zepeda's just a better long-range fighter. He's picking the shots. You know, even now when Pedraza's putting the pressure on, he's getting countered with a beautiful left uppercut, a crisp left uppercut right up the middle, and he's just glanced Pedraza's head ever so slightly. And as the rounds go on and he starts putting the pressure on because he really needs it, he's going to end up getting in big trouble.
Just having a look into the two dressing rooms there, and if Wallin's going to be starting to feel the pressure, now's the sort of time that it's going to start stacking up. Looked great at the press conference, looked great at the weigh-in, but you never really know until that walk comes whether or not a guy's going to really stay focused.
Yeah, that long walk to the ring. When you get in the ring, then all your teammates get out, all your coach, all your conditioning coach, your managers, all their people get out of the ring. You're left there on your own. That's when you really find out how confident this man is.
That's coming up later, of course, our main event. Can Otto Wallin live with Tyson Fury? Will Tyson Fury produce the brilliant performance that he predicts? We will see.
Good start for the round here from Pedraza.
Vacant WBA championship is going to be up for grabs before too long. Barrios against Akhmedov, and of course a fascinating IBF title fight coming up as well. Josh Taylor.
No, Regis Prograis.
Regis Prograis.
It's just a beautiful fight, really is.
One of those fights where you really don't know what's going to happen. WBC and WBO champion Jose Ramirez, and these guys not too far behind in the pecking order.
Oh, it's good there from Zepeda again. And with Zepeda, he's not trying to be too clever with his work. It's relatively basic.
Just keeping his shape, keeping it tight.
That's the word I've been looking for all night, John. The keeping his shape. I think that's what he's doing, just keeping his shape and just timing the counters. You can't fault the effort here from Pedraza. He's trying to force the pace, and now he's trying to get a little bit more variety in his work. You've seen there looking for that right hook to the body, but still not having the success that he needs to slow Zepeda down.
And Sal Hernandez in that Zepeda corner shouting to his fighter, keep jabbing, keep jabbing. He can't handle that jab.
And it's proven the case. Even though he switched southpaw, so getting the foot on the outside is not a factor anymore. He's still struggling to land first. Nice sneaky left hand there.
Clipped by one as he was made to miss with that lead, and Pedraza at last gets inside and works in with a couple of shots to the body, but he's had too little success so far. Head's coming close.
But there's been a bit more pressure in this round from Pedraza. He's not winning the round and he's still taking too many shots. But I think he's made Zepeda work a little bit harder, so maybe that has an effect. But shipped a nice little left hook there to Pedraza, and another round there in the bank for the Californian.
Well, he's going to have to find something special to turn this one around. Beautiful arena, this one. You look at it, and I should think this must, even at this stage, there must be something within you, David Hay, which you sort of think, what a great arena, what it would be like to be fighting here.
I never got the opportunity to fight in Las Vegas, my whole career. So whenever I do come, I always wonder, what it'd been like to fight out here. And this venue's beautiful, it absolutely is lovely.
So you never popped your Las Vegas cherries?
I never. I have popped in other ways, but not in the boxing.
Moving swiftly on, boys. Moving swiftly on. Round 7 coming up. Still got every round, have you?
I actually gave the last round even. I thought Pedraza really gave a good effort, and he pressed in the last minute and a half of the round to the point where I gave him a generous share of that round. I made it even.
Pedraza's going to have to finish this fight very, very strong, though, if he's going to turn around the early advantage that Zepeda has surely built up and And there you see the greater percentage of shots that have landed have come from Zepeda, not perhaps by the overwhelming margin that you would have anticipated, but there is a sense that the greater accuracy, certainly in those early stages, was clearly with Zepeda.
As you said, he kept his shape. The cleaner works come from him, and there's more weight in the shots. That's good. Yeah, I think the jab got blocked, but I think the left hand just come on the side of the gloves there from Zepeda. Pedraza's, he's proved time and time again how tough and durable he can be. I know he's been
Caught
stopped,
him with the left hand there.
but he won't stop trying, as you see in here. Keep pushing forward. But for the most part, punch for punch, it's Zepeda whose punches remain in your memory. It's what you remember. It's what you feel that the better work comes from him. I'd like to see Pedraza double up that jab. And just a little one high, one low, or the other way around more would probably be better. One to the chest, one to the head.
Doubles up on the right hand lead there as he switches to southpaw. And another.
He just needs a little bit of success here now, Pedraza, just to light that fire in his belly a little bit, just to give him a little bit of confidence, a bit of boost with more energy.
Old boxing cliche, some people would say, but he's got to let his hands go.
He has, but when he was doing that in the early rounds, he was walking onto shots, so I think he's trying to change tact, but it's still not enough for me. And I think Zepeda could start pushing him back, but he doesn't need to right now.
Well, if the judges have got it the same way that you and David Hay have, the margin is a significant one. Pedraza needs to start racking up rounds, and he needs to start winning rounds clearly. And you can see by the damage, the facial damage now around both eyes, that it's the accuracy of the Zepeda jab, and there's a couple of good left hands as well from the Californian. They are taking their toll.
Good response there, wasn't it, from Pedraza? But look at that left hand there from Zepeda.
Yep, Pedraza tried to go toe-to-toe with him, now he gets in with the right hand. At last, the fight's starting to warm up here in the closing stages of the 7th, but did Pedraza do enough?
He did a hell of a lot, I'll tell you that. He really put the pressure on. He's really trying. I just can't give him that round. You know, at best, I might give it another even round. You know, Zepeda landed the cleaner. I don't know. Zepeda for me, just ever so slightly.
You talk yourself out of it.
I understand what David's saying, because Pedraza, all the effort he's doing, and he's not getting the rewards, but you almost want to give him a round just because he's really trying, and he's getting better. But you can't. You've got to be unemotional.
Unemotional. It's clean punches landed on target, not who's trying the hardest.
And he wasn't massively dominant in that round, but he's doing more than enough for me.
He's giving it 100%. Pedraza is really. You know, he's trying everything in his arsenal. He just doesn't seem like he has that many tools. You know, he needs to maybe try feinting more. Maybe, as you said, he's not coming off the line. He's not using his hips. It's all very basic stuff. You know, he needs to get a bit imaginative.
And he's running out of time to do so. It's a 10-rounder, and we move now into the 8th. Pedraza straight away onto the front foot, realising maybe the urgency of the situation. He needs some rounds, and he needs some clear rounds.
It's a good couple of jabs there from him, though. Oh, shot.
That's a good left hand, and at last, signs of success for Pedraza.
And good little work there from him. Coming first in an exchange for the change.
Left hand again. A lot more effective out of southpaw.
It's a great jab, really fast, isn't it? Whipping shot.
Zepeda being urged by his corner to use the jab, keep it going, Is he just beginning to surrender the initiative a little in this 8th?
Well, it looks like, and he got to keep that jab going because good shot there from Pedraza. Because it's allowing Pedraza just to walk up on him and land with that jab first. And we're seeing he's landing with that right hand and he's following with a nice long left hand. And then from the southpaw stance, he doesn't bring that back foot forward, which is a surprise because that's not his natural stance.
It's a better combination from Zepeda. But Pedraza getting the advantage, getting the better of the early stages of this 8th. And again.
Found his range now, hasn't he?
He has. It's almost for the first time in the contest. You get the impression that Pedraza is beginning to out-jab Zepeda.
Good jab again. And all of a sudden now, he looks like the man with all the composure.
I wonder if the old tank of Zepeda is just starting to empty a touch. Shouldn't be, because it's not been that sort of a fight.
No.
But maybe just a bit of the urgency is now coming from Pedraza.
But he has had to fight the Pedraza's pace, and sometimes that's a difficult thing to do, but it hasn't been a fast pace.
Good work again there from Pedraza. A couple of nice counter punches. Pedraza, remember, the Puerto Rican in the green, yellow and black shorts with his back to you now. Closing stages of an 8th round, and we've not been able to say too many times that Pedraza has clearly taken it, but I think we can now.
He clearly won that round. It looked like there was a huge shift. I don't know what happened to Zepeda, but from the first 10 seconds, he looked like he was under pressure and uncomfortable from the very, very start. He looked like he's run out of steam. He looked like he's taken so much energy and effort to win those first 5 or 6 rounds. Now, he's as you said, he looks like the well's drying up. And Pedraza, he looks like he's the boss here. He looks like he controlled the whole round.
I wonder if he can turn it round even at this late stage, because if that's indicative of what we've got to come, 2 more rounds, and if they're big Pedraza rounds, you never know.
I saw Zepeda's corner there looking very, very uncomfortable. They were really, really making all the wrong noises that you want your corner team to be making. So I think they're going to really try and give him a talking to him around, and hopefully he comes out to do what they've been asking to, utilise that jab of his.
I should imagine anxiety from a trainer can spread to a fighter. Well, we'll see.
But in a fight like this, which hasn't been a war of attrition, then you tend to think with 2 more rounds, Zepeda should be able to keep his shape and his discipline enough, even if you don't win the rounds, enough to stay out of trouble. So for me, that's all he needs to do, is stay out of trouble. And it's Pedraza's job to force that pace now, keep that foot on the pedal and dig in as hard as he can and go for that big win.
Well, on your card, Barry, you gave the 6th level, the 8th to Pedraza. I think David had another one which was certainly on the margin, but I mean, both of you really have got it by a big distance.
No, I think David gave the 6th level, to be
fair.
Was it? I've given them all to Zepeda up until that last round.
I put it down level. Maybe it was me who put it. It was me who gave it level. I'm not sure.
Again, it's all being that jab in the last round for Pedraza. With that jab, he found his range with it. You know, to move his feet a little bit more in and out, a little bit more efficiently. And more importantly, make space for that left hand, that long left hand.
Neither of them have been in any real trouble so far. They're not massively inconvenienced by the power of the other man. It's been a more technical sort of battle.
Just off balance here.
Oh, there's blood now coming from the nose of Pedraza. Bit of urgency from the Zepeda corner, trying to up the pace, up the work rate.
It's a tight round, I feel, because he's landing some good shots here, Zepeda. Good jab though there from Pedraza.
Faces of the two fighters kind of tell a story. And Pedraza hasn't really been able to maintain that momentum that he somehow found in the last round.
No, he's reverted back to the earlier rounds, hasn't he? But he's the one pushing forward, but really without any quality in his work.
Zepeda letting some telling punches go there. Not a huge amount being thrown by Pedraza.
It's a shame he had so much momentum coming into this round, Pedraza, and hasn't really been able to follow it up.
Well, we wondered there if it was Zepeda who somehow was running out of steam a little bit, but it certainly didn't look that way then.
The talking to from his corner obviously worked. Zepeda really bucked his ideas up in that line, that ninth round, and he's looking back to his best. He's looking like he was in the earlier rounds, and Pedraza, looks like he didn't really have a clue there. He had a couple of bursts, but nothing really conclusive. It looked like he took some additional nose damage there. Maybe he broke a broken nose. The blood was flowing real heavy for the first time at the fight so far. That never helps your concentration when your nose is busted up like that.
A little bit of marking around the face of Zepeda, but not a huge amount. But look at all the bruising around Pedraza.
Of course, that don't always tell the story of a fight. Some people mark up easier than others, but it has, to me, in this instance, it does. He's the one who's had to walk onto the heavier shots through most of the fight. Without ever seriously being hurt, he's the one who's been taking most of the punches.
Jose Pedraza, twice a former world champion. He's surely going to have to find a huge round here, and in all probability, if he's going to win this fight, he's going to have to find a way to knock Zepeda out.
Yeah, he needs a huge round. Oh, good shot there, though. Pedraza, a little left hand.
He's got to go for broke.
Still got plenty of snap in his shots, though. It's good from there from Zepeda.
Well, Zepeda pushed the excellent Jose Ramirez close only last year, and you can kind of see why.
Oh, he's digging on those shots as well here, Zepeda.
Body shot, Ramirez. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Pedraza.
Good hook.
Pedraza was rocked back though. He's going for it, Pedraza.
He had to walk onto an uppercut, but he didn't just walk through it to land that right hook.
Complaint from Zepeda about the head of Pedraza coming in, and a ramrod right-hand lead from Zepeda, which smacked into the face of Pedraza.
It's been a good fight as it goes, hasn't it?
It was on a slow burn for a while, wasn't it? It took a round or two to warm up. Second half, though, certainly been the case. Really stepped in behind that left hand, Zepeda.
And again, it's been Pedraza who's been the busier in this round, but again, the quality of the work from Zepeda there is just may not be enough to edge him at this point.
Knocks into another left hand, Pedraza. Referee Kenny Bayliss has had a fairly quiet time. It's been fought in a good spirit, the fight, despite the fact that it's been a grueling contest in the closing stages. Looks as though Zepeda is sustaining some facial damage as well. He's got a cut around the right eye, and it's a grueling last 3 minutes.
Great little exchange there from both of them. Can't fault the effort here.
Look at this, both of them really going for it right to the final bell. Crowd are responding to it. great desire from both men, and there goes the final bell. And that was a terrific last round. Blood around the face of Jose Zepeda. Great effort from Pedraza over the last 3 minutes, but maybe just a little bit too late.
Yeah, he didn't do enough, and I think Zepeda wins it by a huge margin. And I just think it was that early in the rounds, it was about keeping his shape and his composure, and the concentration was far better than Pedraza's, who was trying to push the pace coming forward, but really wasn't effective enough with the shots, and was just walking a little bit close to the target, and then he sort of almost seemed to turn it round in that, what was that, 8th round. Maybe could have done that from the southpaw stance, as David Hayes said earlier, that he had a bit of success with that, but didn't do enough.
We're looking at Juan Miguel Elorde of the Philippines, who's in our next fight coming up, WBO Super Bantamweight, fighting Manuel Navarrete of Mexico City is the favourite here. Big puncher, and what a scene that is. The aerial shot of this wonderful arena just off Las Vegas Boulevard. Fabulous arena, and we've got Navarrete against Elorde coming up, and then following that we've got Tyson Fury in action in our main event of the night. Well, we've got it this man, Jose Zepeda, by a significant distance. Agree with that one, David?
Yeah, I had it 99-92 for Zepeda. You know, 7-round margin in a 10-round fight. It says it all. It really does. He completely controlled it. He landed the significant blows.
Here we are, here's the result.
Decision, all 3 judges scored about the same, 97-93, all 3 in favor of the winner. He is now the WBC USNBC Super Lightweight Champion, Jose John Zepeda.
Zepeda gets it, and look at the reaction. Popular result, Mexican parents, and it's a Mexican celebration. Jose Zepeda, a fairly comfortable winner.